one of the things that is great at directing our focus is asking quality questions. So nothing better, right? If you're in a sales discussion and you want to direct somebody's attention, you ask them a question that directs them in a certain direction. It puts their focus in a direction. Well, it's the same thing for us when we're evaluating something. So it's not possible that everything has the same priority, but we think that it does because we have the sense of urgency and we want to serve. And so all of a sudden, everything on our plate has the same level of urgency and the same level of priority. And therefore, we get stuck because we're not able to make that determination.
Yeah.
So we have to step back and ask ourselves a better quality question.
What might be an example of a kind of question that we can ask ourselves or ask in a situation where we've got competing priorities?
Well, there's a couple of different tools that I use to do that. First of all, is we have to say, does this absolutely need to be done today by me? Right? So that's an urgency question to find out, is this really urgent?
Right.
And that helps us to weed out, because if we're really honest with ourselves, some of those things don't absolutely need to be done today. And some of those things don't need to be done by me. So there's an opportunity to delegate it to somebody else.
I had a client of mine probably about a month ago, and he gave me this little framework that I thought, oh, that's so simple and fun. And I'll share it with you. He said, whenever something comes across his plate, he asks the 4D questions. Do I need to do it? Do I need to delegate it? Do I need to delete it, or do I need to delay it?
Right.
I don't know if you've heard those four before. I'd never heard those before.
I have, and that's a great framework too, right? That'll help you determine, when are you going to work on it and who's going to work on it. There's another one that I like to use, which is the urgent and important, the Eisenhower matrix.
Yep.
And this one, like I talked about the question or the way to find out whether it's urgent, right? Because that's part of the problem, is that we aren't sure how we balance urgency and importance.
Right.
So the other one can help us with importance a little bit, but also with the other. So, in those 4 quadrants, there's the things that are important but not urgent, which in my mind are absolutely the things to do first, because those are the things that get pushed off. Those are the things that never end up getting done. That's because they get crowded out by the urgent things.
Yep.
But if it's important, those things might be your relationships, like, not because it's burning and you have to put out the fire because, you haven't had a conversation with your spouse, or haven't done a review with somebody in the whole year.
Right.
And they're frustrated because they're not getting feedback. If you put those important things and you schedule those and say, that's an absolute must for me to do this week because of the value that it provides. So that would be in that quadrant. Then you've got the urgent and important things, and not all of those things need to be done by you. So that's an important thing to recognize. And then there's, the peripherals, the things that are sort of the little things that need to get done, and then those distractions that are in the way. And if you gave each one of those quadrants of value, so I would say that if you'd say, well, those things that are important but not urgent are actually $1,000 tasks, because I like to look at things in value. That just helps me to regulate it, right? So those are $1,000 tasks. The things that are urgent and important, they're $100 tasks. Then your busy work is just $10 tasks, and there's 0 for any of that sort of distraction.
Yeah.
And if you were to put your to-do list in that category, looking at your week and what you were going to work on first, and so this would give you a better way to evaluate it. So it's just another framework, and they all work. It's just a matter of which one works best for you.
I was familiar with that framework, but I loved the nuance you put to it. I love the idea that you said do the high importance, low urgent first. And when you look at that framework, often the things that fall in that category are things like strategy and culture.
Yes.
They're very, very important, never urgent, but they're very important. And then
they get pushed off.
And they get pushed off all the time. And then the high urgent, high importance, you said something really subtle, but so important. That doesn't mean I have to do it. No one said I had to be the one to do it.
Right.
But the majority of the people that I talk to, the leaders in the business, they love the hero complex. They love throwing on that cape and swooping in and being the one to solve it. But they don't necessarily need to be the one to do it.